Do you know where the word sabotage comes from? It's an interesting story. In the 18th century, during the earliest part of the Industrial Revolution, new innovations dramatically increased the productivity of factories. Power looms were 100 times more productive than the traditional hand looms. Consumers were able to afford clothing and other necessities at lower prices than ever before. But new technologies often have a downside. In France and Belgium, the hand loom workers making traditional textiles opposed the new power looms, which would destroy their jobs. When they recognized the threat, they took action. They used hammers and clubs to break the power looms. Some of these workers wore rough wooden clogs called sabots. They would sneak in and throw their wooden shoes into the new machinery, breaking the fragile gears and shutting down the production lines. The sabot attacks became known as sabotage. And these vandals, the first saboteurs. Of course, in the long run, it didn't do much good. Power looms didn't go away, and even more automated processes of weaving and making textiles became standard. The advantages to consumers were so large that even widespread sabotage by disgruntled weavers couldn't hold back progress forever. We see the same thing happening in France today. Disgruntled taxi drivers in Paris are rioting against Uber, another innovation that's threatening livelihoods. And in a way, who can blame them? They're worried about losing their jobs and providing for their families. Nevertheless, the efforts of these taxi drivers will fail, just like the weavers, and for the same reasons. The innovations they're protesting are hugely beneficial for the average person and bring prosperity to whole communities. But there is one way taxi drivers could throw a clog into the gears of progress, and that's regulation. Regulations can sabotage progress more effectively than the hand loom workers ever could. Cities all over the world are implementing policies that outlaw innovations like Uber software. In my hometown of Raleigh, North Carolina, the city government actually made it illegal for Uber drivers to pick up or drop off passengers at the airport. Now, I'm paying higher prices and waiting longer whenever I want to travel. And if more cities are successful in clamping down on Uber, soon you and your friends will have the same problem. And it's not just Uber. We're on the brink of revolutionary changes that could drastically improve our lives. But these advances are constantly threatened by regulation. Maybe it's the regulations that need to be sabotaged. I wonder where I could get some of those wooden shoes.